I am extremely biased when it comes to superhero blockbusters. I grew up enamored by each pow and boom. I was also lucky enough to even grow up during the golden age of superhero films. I watched the medium evolve from the X-Men and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films to the entire Avengers Infinity Saga. But in between the cracks of these high-budget hits, people tend to forget about the lesser-known superheroes or just don't care enough about them. There's Chronicle, in my opinion, Josh Trank's only decent film. There is Super, a gritty story about a regular Joe wanting it all. And you also have Hancock, which I believe is a bit underappreciated. Amongst all these films, we forget about the doubly awesome, smash R-rated hit. Before there was Deadpool, there was Kick-Ass.
Who are you? I'm Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass follows the story of Dave Lazowski, who's had enough of the schoolyard bullies and decides to take matters into his own hands, becoming the wetsuit-clad hero, Kick-Ass. The story is peppered with some excellent fan references to a large number of films and comics. We are introduced to a host of likable characters, each with interesting and well-explored backgrounds. It's intensely violent, insanely funny, and gruesomely gory. Between the underdog and brilliantly cast Dave Lazowski becoming the masked Kick-Ass to Hit Girl's gun nut father Big Daddy, the film is filled to the brim with colorful characters and over-the-top action. Here is an origin story that has just as much action as the biggest blockbuster superhero films, but doubles down on the violence and crude humor. It's an unorthodox comic book tale and thrives on the details it intentionally and humorously gets wrong. The horny, sexually frustrated nerd playing a superhero, a preteen girl being the real ass kicker, a mob boss who actually isn't all that bad of a guy, the hero's mom dying not via a gunshot or stabbing, but a sudden brain aneurysm. Kick-Ass is a blunt satire on the superhero genre, just like its comic counterpart, but it also contains some light commentary. When Kick-Ass was released, Chloe Grace Moretz was 13 years old. Her performance as Hit Girl is crude, rude, and shockingly violent, and yet the audacity of such a young girl playing this violent type of character never once troubled me, not even remotely. Whoever decided to cast her in this role, take a bow, because talk about perfection. These are characters you want to cheer for because you'd be their friend in real life. Or at the very least, give them shit for being such idiots, and then give them a massive high five for the valiant attempt.
I'm just fucking with you, Daddy.
Nicolas Cage's love for the comic books is well documented, and his performance here ends up being underrated in my view. Out of costume, Cage plays it socially awkward and detached from reality. His love for his daughter seems to be without question, but his decision to basically prevent her from having any sort of childhood never seems to enter his head. His actions and her training just seem like the logical thing to do for him, given the circumstances they are in.
Baby doll.
Aaron Taylor Johnson gets a bit overshadowed by those two, but I think it's also part of his character. He plays a kid that has nothing remarkable about him, and yet again, that's the entire point and why you root for his transformation. Most superhero films want the viewer to have a connection with its protagonist, but while most of them say they are just normal people, none of them really are. While Hit Girl steals the show, Kick-Ass is the heart of the film. The adaptation of Mark Millar's comic is one of the funniest, action-packed movies I've ever seen. Kick-Ass is a brutal love letter to comic book movies, and Matthew Vaughn does a great job bringing this satire to the screen with its stylized action sequences, humorous dialogue, and a great soundtrack to boot. Kick-Ass is an awesome and overlooked comic book film, and it is very different because it takes a more realistic approach to the ideas of what makes a superhero. Would there be anyone who would dare to dress up in tights and stop crime in a stylish way? Probably not. So to be short, Kick-Ass kicks ass.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Tune in every Friday for a new movie video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what other movies you would like me to do videos on. Thank you, Mom, for editing my movie essays for my videos. I appreciate you. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.